YouTube was good. It's your boy Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post up new content. Uh, it came on last night and I recorded it, but I just got through watching the NBA 75, right? And I must say that I really don't do sports like that, right? But I'm looking at it like this. Whose lovely idea was it to put LeBron James at number two? I, you know, I mean, can somebody please explain that one to me, right? Michael Jordan is arguably, put like this, even Michael Jordan is debatable because it's almost like, because if you actually really listen to the criteria of what they was talking about, right? You know, you know, you a game changer, right? Which actually really classify you as the goat or whatever, right? But then this is what they talking about. All of the sports writers, and then you had Jalen Rose. He played, but then again, I'm looking at him, and then again, some of the stuff that he was talking about, I actually really agreed with, right? But I just look at it like this: LeBron way too high. LeBron, for the most part, shouldn't even be in the top 20. He should be at number 21. And I know a lot of you LeBron dick riders out there are gonna say otherwise. But I look at it like this: when you lose in championship play, there's no I mean, you're out of that conversation, right? As far as like being the greatest of all time. It's the same thing that I say about Tom Brady. Motherfucker, you lost in championship play. So no, you cannot be considered as the greatest of all time. I'm sorry, right? Now, what I feel like what people should do, right? Instead of saying the greatest of all time, right? Let's just say that you were the greatest in your era when you played. It's pretty much like how the NFL does. Now, I'm only going to go back as far as the 1960s because this was only because 1970 the two leagues merged. They came together, right? So so let's actually like really break it down for a minute. And the 60s belonged to the Packers. The 70s belonged to the Steelers. I mean, the Cowboys, they were like a extremely close second, right? The 80s belonged to the Niners. The 90s belonged to the Cowboys, right? And the 2000s belonged to the Patriots, right? So they like say so I mean now if the NBA, and who's to say that they haven't done this, right? But to sit up here and say that to have a player that is the greatest of all time, you know, I'm gonna say I'm gonna walk on that a little bit because the thing about it though is this, right? Sports medicine back then, not as good as it was, like how it is now, right? I'm not gonna sit up here and say that today's athletes are bigger and stronger and faster than what they, than what they were back in the early days of basketball. I'm not gonna sit up here and I can say that. I'm not gonna say that because it's just for the simple fact that all what the hell you looking at? You looking at what the person that's playing today, how they did versus how they played back then, right? So, and I know I did a show like this a while back that there's no such thing as a greatest of all time. It can't be, right? Because it's just for the simple fact that hey, rules changed so much that it's ridiculous, right? You gotta let's look at how the league was when Michael Jordan and them played, right? When you got fouled, you actually really got fouled, right? You know, I mean, like, and you look at how they play today, you just do a motherfucker like this, and it's a flagrant foul. LeBron James being the greatest, let's just say, if if LeBron is the greatest of anything, he could be like the greatest flopper of all time. But to actually really put him second behind Michael Jordan, and it's just for the simple fact, I look at it like this too, right? You could look at it like Michael Jordan really shouldn't be one. He really shouldn't be number one, right? Because all what Michael Jordan did was he just played the game. Now let's take Will Chamberlain on the other hand, right? He was the only player in NBA history to score 100 points. And it's just for the simple fact that Will was such a dominating player, rules were changed because of Will Chamberlain. So that right there, right, should make him number one because the rules were changed just because of his style of play. So then you have Bill Russell. Bill Russell got 11 of them things. Now I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Well, they didn't. It wasn't as many teams back then like it is now, and they didn't play as many games. I ain't trying to hear all that, right? 11 championships is still 11 championships, no matter how you slice it. Okay. And then if you actually really want to put Michael Jordan as number three, then for the most part, I can actually really live with Michael Jordan being number three. I can live with him being number one because I actually really saw the guy play, right? But to have LeBron as number two, that is like the ultimate slap in the face. Now I know what a lot of the players, retired players, I already know what the fuck they gonna say. Well, hey, look, he's good. Okay, I give you that. LeBron is good. He damn good. But he is not number two material. Well, he's number two material, but not the number two. What the fuck y'all think of? Let's just say that he is toilet paper material. Plain and simple. So then I think so. Basically, how they had it, they had Jordan number one, LeBron at number two, Kareem at number three, Magic at number four, and I forget who they had at number five. I'm like, damn, it is right there. Like, I can't call it off right off, right? But then at number six, you got Bill Russell. No, they had Wilt at number five. Then they had Russell at number six. So just like I say, I would shuffle that. I would put just like say Wilt Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, they're like I say, you can flip those two out, and then it really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter, right? Just like I say, but I will stick for the simple fact. I will stick to my guns on this one, and say that at best Jordan could be number 3 behind those two, right? And just like I say, LeBron should not even be in the top 20. Put that motherfucker at number 21 or 22 or something like that. And then there was some other players. They had Durant at what, number 11? I'm like, really? And then they had uh, Stephen Curry at number 16 or 17. And then they had motherfucking Reggie Miller like way down. He was like down at number 50. And I'm just like, well, damn, right? What happened to the respect of the players that came before you? Because I just look at it like this. If it wasn't like this, if it wasn't a Reggie Miller, then it would never be it would have never been a Steve Curry, right? That's just how I look at it. So, and to have Durant there, I'm just like, okay, whatever, whatever they think of it, And I think what happens is that these people that vote on who on the ranking scheme or whatever, they try to put people in that the right now NBA audience is looking at. You try, so you pacify those motherfuckers, right? Because you really don't want to. You really don't want to. You don't want to catch too much heat from your right now fans. And I'm like, okay, I got it. But I'm gonna tell you something about these motherfucking right now fans. Motherfucker a right now fan. Respect the game like how it's supposed to be respected. Now, grant the fact, I'm talking in a sense where that, okay, listen, all of this shit is rigged. The NFL, the NBA, the NHL, the NBL or Major League Baseball, hockey, all that shit is staged. These motherfuckers, they already know who gonna win before the shit even kick off, right? But at the same time, I'm looking at this as if a lot of you motherfuckers don't know that this shit is staged. Okay? So, and then, so like, the, just know that LeBron, your ass shouldn't be out there. I'm almost about ready to compare LeBron to Rocky Balboa, almost. Because he was a champion, then he got his ass beat, but he acted like what they saying. I heard a while back say, well, he lost, but he lost with dignity. And I'm just like, okay, so what type of sense does that make? Right? So my whole deal is this, right? Everybody, it's just like what the young lady said, right? You ask who the greatest player is, you ask 100 people, you're gonna have 100 different answers. At least that's what the fuck they say, right? But as far as like, I'll just say, hey, look, in an era for 75 years, right, that the NBA has been in existence. Again, you have to actually really look at this the same way that you look at the NFL, right? You look at a team that dominated, right? And then you be like, okay, you look at a team that dominated, and then you look at the players that were on that team. And then, yeah, you always gonna have your one to two players that's actually really gonna stand out on that team. And then you say, okay, well, hey, look, they were the greatest of their era. Leave it alone. Do not sit up here and try to compare Do not sit up here trying to compare notes. Because the first time you start doing that shit, then you get shit. Then you get bullshit shows that happened last night, right? So, but motherfuckers might say, "Well, okay, crazy uncle. So, what is you? Who are your top five, right? Players, right? Well, just just know this. Two of them I didn't. Two of them I didn't get to see play because by the time that I was born, these motherfuckers they already been played and retired. And I already told you, Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, or like I said, those two are interchangeable, right? Then you put Michael Jordan in there. Then you got Kareem and Magic. Put Larry Bird in there, right? So that's Will, Bill, Michael, Kareem, Magic, Bird. So that's six right there. Uh, who else? I got you ready to put up there. Hell, let's put Isaiah Thomas up there because again, he was part of the bad boys. He the one that beat up Michael Jordan a whole lot, right? And just like Michael, Isaiah is undefeated in championship play. I mean, great the fact he only won 2 rings, but he's still undefeated in championship play. So that's 7. Okay. So who else could we put in there? Who? I would bring Reggie Miller up. Now again, here it is. Now I know a lot of you motherfuckers. They're like, well, damn, you're looking at the motherfuckers that you watch play. So okay, so again, we could be like, okay, well, let's put Dr. J in the top 10. Whether he's at number 7, whether he's at number 6 or whatever. But it's just no, I'm not going to put him up against Bird. I'm not going to put him higher up than Bird. I'm not going to put him higher up than doggone Magic Johnson or Kareem. I'm not going to do that. Right? So that's 8. And and before I even go any further than that, for them to have Scottie Pippen as low as they had him, and he was one of the top defensive players during his time frame, to have him as low as they had him, that right there, again, that's another motherfucker slap in the face. Again, these are people that I've watched play, right? But I've actually already seen highlights of other people play and all that kind of stuff, right? So again, it's just like it's real easy to be like, okay, to put people that you've seen play at the highest at the highest of the list. It's too easy. But all what I'm saying, all I'm saying is this: you can't sit up here and be like, "Hey, look, this is the greatest player of all time," because again, just like what I said, uh, there's no such animal. Now, grant the fact, I've heard Dennis Rodman say that if Michael was playing now, he'd be averaging 50 points a game every game. And which that brings me to another point. To put LeBron at number 2 is ridiculous because when did LeBron ever actually really play a full 82 games? LeBron took days off. Jordan didn't take days off, right? And when Jordan never took the games off. Jordan never moved. Jordan stayed. Jordan didn't talk shit. Jordan got on the field, on that court, and he let his play do his talking for him. Versus LeBron, the first time he came his ass down to Miami, they motherfucker talking about, oh, we finna win 10 championships. No, partner, that is not how the song goes. Okay? And then you say that, and then you get to the big game, and you bitch out because you got leg cramps. You got leg cramps. Oh, it is too hot in the building. And then you wonder why the NBA legends like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, all those guys, they was laughing at your bitch ass because they said, hey, look, we turned the AC off on purpose. So again, to put this guy at number 2, I'm just gonna come out and say it. There's a whole bunch of LeBron dick riders out there. They just look at the simple fact that okay, he done been to the finals, but this motherfucker done lost more finals than he's won. Right? He's the reverse of Tom Brady. You actually really stop and think about it for a minute. Brady won 7, this motherfucker done lost 7. Okay? But he's at number 2. Okay, got it. Fuck games as usual. Right? So, and then it's just for simple fact, okay, well, LeBron is bigger and stronger and faster than Jordan. Okay. If he acts like, but if he's bigger and stronger and faster than Jordan, why this motherfucker was flopping all over the goddamn place? Well, people that on when people that wasn't as big as him touched him, and he all over, he just falling all over every goddamn thing. But he bigger and stronger than everybody else, though. See, the priorities are all fucked up here. So like I said, y'all, and then they had Kobe Bryant, Kobe, and and I will agree with what old boy said. I'll put Kobe is probably about where he need to be. At number 10, you could arguably put him up probably like as high as either number 7 or number 8, but anything past 7 is you're asking for it, really. Right? So that's my spiel. I mean, great fact, I couldn't give you a top 10, right? But just know this: LeBron James is not even close of being a top 10 greatest player. Put that motherfucker in the 20s at best, and that's being real generous. So with that being said, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell big dad, tell big birthday, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross street, round the corner, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Till next time.